Thank you very much, Megan. Now we're talking about your health, you folks at home, and you may have heard HGH, human growth hormone, being a big story lately because of what's going on with the allegations involving Peyton Manning. So we're going to talk to UAB nutritionist Dr. Beth Kitchen right now with a little more insight on HGH. Now I will say this, Dr. Beth K, right after the Peyton Manning story on Inside Edition, another show that appears on our station, there was a story about a 73-year-old doctor in Las Vegas who has taken human growth hormone for years.
Right.
He looks like a bodybuilder.
Right.
He looks incredible.
And he probably works out.
He does work out. So people are wondering,
Right.
Is this the fountain of youth here?
Right, exactly. And the whole Peyton Manning scandal that's not turning out to be much of a scandal,
Right.
It really has sort of brought this back into the news. I was watching TV the other night and there was a commercial for an HGH, a human growth hormone supplement that supposedly stimulates your own human growth hormone. And there is some data that shows that getting human growth hormone injections, and you have to get it as injections
Okay,
because
that's important to point out.
it's a protein, and so if you
Right.
took it as pills, it would be destroyed in your stomach acid, in the digestive enzymes in your lower gut. So this is you got to take it as an injection.
People get this confused with steroids. It's not steroids.
It's not steroids, it's
Right.
human growth hormone. And we all make it in our pituitary gland, and it stimulates this thing called insulin-like growth factor.
Okay.
And so little kids need this to grow taller. And so that has some medical medical indications, such as children that aren't growing properly.
Right.
There are some other medical indications for it. But we're talking about older people, fountain of youth. And there is some data that shows that it can possibly increase muscle mass. Whether it actually increases muscle strength is another question. And then there's also some indication that it can help with tightening your skin. Now, who doesn't want that as we get older,
Yeah.
right? So everybody's thinking, oh, this is great. Should I go out and get this stuff? Now, there are some potential problems with it, though, Mike. So first of all, if a doctor is prescribing it for anti-aging, that is off-label prescribing, and the FDA does not, at this point, approve of its use for that purpose.
Because we really don't know the health complications from HGH
That's
use yet,
right.
right?
And we're going to talk about some pretty serious potential side effects from
Okay.
this. Now, there are also counterfeit and unapproved products. Because it's this injection, it's pretty expensive to produce. And so what you'll see is a lot of products coming into the United States that are counterfeit, that have not been tested, so they may not be something that you would want to be taking.
Right.
And then you've got these supplements that I already talked about that supposedly stimulate your own HGH. And so far, there's no evidence that they actually do that. You're
Okay.
probably throwing your money away if you're falling for those late night commercials.
All right, don't do that.
And now the potential problems.
Yeah.
Some studies have shown that people with higher human growth hormone are 4 times more likely to get cancer. So it might stimulate more specific types of cancer. So that's a big concern. The other big concern is that there was a study that showed an association between people with higher HGH levels. They had a higher increase of death, of dying early. So it may not actually be the fountain of youth. There may be these specific things that we like that it does, but whether it actually helps you to live longer might actually be a factor in people dying younger. So there are a lot of concerns about this. And in fact, the American Association of Clinical Endocrinologists really recommends against its use at this time for an anti-aging.
Because we just don't know for
Just
sure.
don't know, and there could be some very serious, very scary side effects
So you may have
from
to
it.
decide, do I want to die looking like a bodybuilder?
Yes, so
Or-
you might look great, but you might die
Yeah,
younger.
so we don't want
and
that
you might
either.
get cancer. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
the skin tightening. When I read that, I was like, oh, that would
The
be
best
really
thing,
nice.
definitely consult with your doctor and maybe even get a second opinion. I would
Yeah,
think.
I would get, and you got to be careful with doctors who are prescribing it off-label because it's the anti-aging industry is an industry.
All right, Dr. Beth K, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot,
Appreciate
Mike.
it.